All right, hello, Melissa May Dillon, live on my personal page on Facebook, and then we upload it to the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, comments you want to talk about, and if you're on the YouTube channel, by the way, make sure to subscribe, please. If you have any questions about what we're talking about, or if there's anything you want me to talk about, please drop something in the comments or just share your thoughts about anything that you've got going on based on what we're talking about for December to Remember. December to Remember is a public display of manifesting $1 million in 1 month. And I've talked from the very beginning, it's not so much about actually landing that amount of money now, but being prepared to land that amount of money now. There are things that we have to do in order to get the money to come in order to actually show up. And the things that we do could be, creating a new product, or launching a business, selling something that you have online. And there's work behind that. There's things you have to do to be able to, put those things out there. Or whatever it is that you're offering to the planet to be able to, you have to put out impact in order to be able to get some money in. By the way, I wanted to explain why I've got my hat on. It's been a beautiful, wonderful day with the whole fam bam. And this is my actual hair, but it's hard for me to look at, so I put my hat on. And what, David?
Oh shit, you're on live, ain't you?
Yes, I'm live. It's been a day, and I'm starting my what's the name? There's a cycle for our periods.
Sorry, I need to show you this.
You need to show me a TikTok video.
You know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is?
Yes, I know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is.
You've probably never seen this earlier.
So what is this saying? If you do kung fu, that's what you'll look like?
That is what I look like.
That is what you look like.
Yeah. Sorry. Jesus.
Hot chocolate for the evening. So, real life stuff.
Oh yeah.
David, we have been hanging out all day today. I've cleaned the house. I've done some amazing stuff. And my period is about to start. We know because I got angry a few times today. A little bit frustrated.
It could have been yesterday's too.
Yesterday's frustrations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, David said the red devil is coming, which is funny because we had red skies tonight in the sky. And red skies mean fair weather is coming. But my period is a little bit scary.
A little?
It's scary. I woke up from a 3-hour nap with the baby and I was crabby, like so crabby. And normally if I'm able to sleep with the baby during the day, I wake up feeling really good and refreshed. So we knew something was wrong. But David, he recognized it pretty soon, which is good, because normally we will argue and bicker quite a bit based on my level of being able to tolerate, or just how like close I am to like the edge. And it's the cycle. Like I want to understand more about like the moon cycle and all the things. Like we go in cycles too. Like, there's part of the time where it's like I make sure that I'm like dressed and ready every day. And then there's days where I'm like, I don't got time for that. Like the only thing I want to do today is be with my baby, take care of my baby. And it's like what I focus on. Every day is different in terms of what I want to focus on. Sometimes I want to focus on, creating work. Sometimes I want to focus on, the baby. Sometimes I want to focus on cleaning the kitchen. Like there's all these different things, and we have to choose at what degree and what percentage we're going to focus on what thing. And sometimes we have to, balance. I have the desire that I want to, wildly successful, amazing business that grows millions and millions of dollars. It does require my time and attention. And at the same time, I want to raise an incredible, magical, amazing baby who just feels so loved and just so welcome into the family. Like she knows she's, everything she wants, she can have. But at the same time, that's not what we want to be doing either. So trying to balance all the things and going through like cycles and getting out the crazies and the genius and all the thoughts and ideas that are like streaming in your mind about all the different things that are going on. Like sometimes I come on and I'm just like, I know exactly what we're talking about. It's going to be epic and amazing. And sometimes I come on and it's like the crazy artist, like what is going on kind of situation. And we as humans, we all have like these varying levels of, things that we have to deal with. And it's important that we allow like space and time for all these things without expecting that, like, we're always one thing all the time. We are many different things. And we have to choose to focus on our present moment and our present time to be able to, what is it that you want? There's times where you have to think more in the moment than physically be in the moment. Like sometimes it's all about the experience. What are you tasting? What are you touching? What are you smelling? Like I love to have my hot cocoa. And this is what grounds us. This is what keeps us grounded, is staying like in the physical world. And you want to stay in the physical world. It's enjoyable, but you can't spend all your time in the physical world. There's also the mental plane where you're like thinking. And then there's also the plane where you're feeling, and feeling like surpasses both the physical and the mental plane. And so sometimes you feel like your mentals can generate a feeling that you then feel within your body physically. So feelings allow us to jump from the physical plane to the mental plane. And then you can multiply like what you're experiencing in your frequency in that moment. Because like you could be going through something, in the physical pain that doesn't feel very good, but you can balance that with what is going on in the mental plane. Like, I understand that what I'm going through right now is difficult and hard, and I don't enjoy it, and it requires physical work on my body. Or like going through something that's like a physical pain with your body, like the work that I had to do at the boarding school. I was forced to do physical labor at the like extreme degree of like doing things like kids were not allowed to wear sweaters while shoveling snow. And it was like, you can have kids do chores and you can expect certain things, but it should be part of the family and doing things, not to reserved as a punishment. Because what it can translate to is like when you use something to like force people to be, to do a certain thing. I mean, I don't know, like trying to put the baby to bed tonight, like there's, David says, holding her down to get her to fall asleep versus letting her just get up and run out of the room and like stay up all night. She does fall asleep, and, I think she needs that extra coaxing, but I was never taught like how to put a baby to sleep other than they just fall asleep, with you. And I was thinking about how like there are times in our life where we experience and like, like all time is an illusion. Like time is just your tether to the physical plane, right? So like we have and I feel like I'm in my crazy Einstein genius phase right now. It's understanding the science connection to all of this and the spiritual connection. But we live in this physical plane. We can enjoy the physicality of it. The fact that we can feel touch, that our bodies can feel. Sometimes our bodies have to feel pain and carry that pain for a long time. Sometimes we have pain with our physical body that makes us want to be able to leave the physical plane. Sometimes we experience physical pain that deeply. But we also have the mental plane where you're spending times in your thoughts. And like there's times where you do need to spend time in the mental plane. You can't just, being fully present to the moment is understanding that there's a physical moment, but there's also a mental moment. Sometimes your mental moments should be exactly focused on what is happening in the physical plane, such as I'm at the beach with my baby. 1, I'm watching to make sure she's safe. 2, I'm totally immersed in that experience, not thinking about the past or the future, like not thinking about, well, earlier today we had a fight, we had a struggle getting out of the house, getting packed up to be able to go to the beach. Couldn't find the things I needed. I got frustrated. Like I could spend time thinking in the past, or I could focus extensively on my current, future, present moment, which is me sitting at the beach with my baby, the sunlight, the sand, it's precious, it's beautiful, it's amazing. I want my mentals to like almost give up and allow just my physicals to come in at that time. Let's really experience the physical world. But I still have to keep my mental plane, going to some degree. So in my mental plane, while this is happening, I'm like taking pictures. I'm like, gosh, look how beautiful and amazing this moment is. Look how incredible it is. I'm able to hang out with my baby. Look at the sunrise. Look at the sunset. And then your frequency is, how do you feel as you're doing that moment? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, doing what I'm doing right now is the most amazing thing? And doing what I'm doing right now is what I need to be doing. And I accept that what I'm experiencing in this reality is good and perfect, because we're going to experience things that are not joyful. Like we just talked about, like you can have a physical pain in your body that you're living with every single day. And you still have to decide that life is good and worth living. And you have to also live with that pain, and you have to find things that you enjoy. And there's this constant, battle again between like the physical and the mental. I am physically in my body experiencing my life. And I also have my mental focus. What am I thinking about, the past, the present, or the future? And in my mental mind, I'm like, possibly reliving past situations, thinking about future situations. I could also be in the mental plane when you're like, or the physical plane, when I'm like with David, talking. In my mind, I can also be in the mental plane like, oh, remember what he says, because what he's saying right now, he's talking about a gift that he really wants to have, or whatever it is that he's talking about, or something he wants to buy, or, something about his fish. Like it's something important that you want to log that piece of information. So your mental plane has to like turn on to a level and to be able to gather the information in your physical world. I'm living day to day. I've got, I'm in my physical house. I'm in my physical body, and time is just our tether to be able to stay in the physical, because without the time, we would be all things, everything, one thing at exactly one time. And it would almost be like nothing and everything all at the same time. So it almost like would void itself out. And so time, and again, we can only move forward. Like we can only move forward in time in the physical plane. The physical plane is set to move in only one singular direction. You can't see basically all the potential things that had possibly happened. They're all happening around you all the time. Like that's the parallel realities. But when I'm just allowing this to flow through. I was writing today. I was so excited. Like there's the $1 million idea like landed on me today. And that's like, that is so valuable to me. Like this December to remember is, getting $1 million in 1 month. So I know I'm like going back and forth, dipping my toes into talking about physical reality, mental planes, and understanding the rules of existence. This is fun. I'm like in my Einstein stage right now. Look at my crazy hair even. And I'm also, of the growth and the evolution that I'm having, like going live every day, every single day for the last 21 days. I've been talking about doing that for a long time. Going live every single day. It does like change things. It does like cause a physical, sorry, I got distracted by Randy's comment. I didn't know how much the physical pain from last year affected so much of my world until I started feeling better these last few weeks. So true. Also, the $1 million idea, gonna need some cliff notes on that. Yes, no, exactly. I started writing notes. And it was crazy because like I talked about earlier, like you can see, so like when we begin to understand like time is an illusion. When you're on the physical plane, like I have a physical plane, like I've got to write down what are my ideas. I have to physically create any products that I want to sell. But the mental plane is like, how did I even know that I wanted to create this? And thinking about how I'm going to create it, how I'm going to design it, how I'm going to share it in the future. Like it's, we talk about, again, about the power of the present moment, but we must also consider future times, because then we know what to do in the present moment. And then, so let's say we figure out, I want to create a course, I want to create a work of art, I want to do a project. You think of like the ultimate end goal. Like there's times where you like I said, what you focus on grows. So like if I decide, I want to create a course teaching something, I think of like the end result. Like I've got this this course. It's going to be amazing. Everyone's using it. It's helpful. It's awesome. But then I have to come back to my physical plane, my physical time that I'm in. And I do things, I make physical choices in the physical world that will allow me to build to or make sure I arrive at this future vision that I have forecasted. So if I forecast a future vision for myself of selling a completed course or congratulating people on the completed course or seeing the results of people enjoying the completed course, like if I want to land on that moment in my physical experiences, I'm basically forecasting what I would like to be able to physically experience in my life. And sometimes, like, from where we are to where it is that we want to be able to go, to what we're experiencing now to what we want to physically experience, can require some time, and also requires some, shifting of the physical world, or changing things, aligning things so that the physical world can present itself. Like, for instance, David and I forecasted that we wanted, to be able to, buy a piece of property, a land. It was like putting it out there that, like, universe, prepare the path for us to be able to lock in the land, whatever that's going to end up looking like. We set this like forecast for what we wanted to experience in our physical world. And then in the physical world that we're currently in, we have to every once in a while tap into that vision, hold that vision of the completed, thing that it would be that you would like to experience within your current physical body and your current physical time. So I see myself with the completed course, celebrating the completed course. I see, or we, again, whatever it is, you have a store. Like, I was just watching a movie. It Ends With Us, which is so freaking fantastic. But she has a vision for a store where she wants to sell flowers. So, you hold the vision for what it is you want to complete, but then you have to go to do the dirty work to make it happen. You have to get dirty. She had to clean it out. She had to spend the money to clean it out without making any money to come in. She had to create this vision that she had, and then be able to open the doors. And now she has to run the business. Now people have to come into the business. Now she has to market and advertise to the business. Like, you forecast what it is you would like to happen, and then go do the dirty work to make it happen, so that you can have that next gleaming moment of, now I've opened my flower shop. Oh, it's amazing. And then you shoot out the vision for the next forecast of what you like to experience. Like, now we're we go from day opening to, we are the #1 top rated flower shop that everyone wants to come and see, which is amazing, keeps business going. But then at the same time, that requires more time and attention at the business. So we have all these choices that we have to make about what we focus on and what we grow, because what you focus on grows. And I was thinking about that to one degree. I was like, oh my God, like, the more I focus on the baby, she's going to grow faster on me. Like, but it's true though, because the more I focus on her, like the way that I speak to her with language, when it's just her and I'm like solely focused on her. Because there's times where I'm like, I'm focused on her in a sense that I also have to cook lunch, and I also have to clean the kitchen, and I also, it's not like we can give our 100% full attention to any one thing at any time. Because again, we also have mental plane, we have the emotional plane. Like, there's lots of things that are happening. So today, I'm giving her my time and attention. When I give her my time and attention, I talk to her, like, she started saying zipper, she's like zipper, she's going up and down. I'm like, zipper, yes, zipper, and she was saying it nonstop. So she grows faster when I focus on her, because she's learning more. She's getting more experience. She's gaining more wisdom. She's hearing more words. She's being able to talk, to hang out with mama and daddy directly. And that's how she grows. But at the same time, it also means that she grows. But we want to spend that time focusing on her, and we want to see her grow. And there's grief and there's pleasure in that. The grief of watching her grow means that, how she is now is not going to stay the same. We will never see how she is now ever again in this current physical plane. Like, that's part of the time. That's how it keeps us tethered down, where it doesn't feel like so floaty. Because like of the vastness that is available in the quantum, it's so floaty. Like I said, it's like everything and nothing. And like to be able to, so you're either experiencing everything so fast that it turns into nothing, or you're experiencing everything so slow that it's utter hell. But anyway, we have to have something tether us to the experiences that we're having on the planet, and time is the tether, and we are able to feel time. You know, how long it was, the picking her up, for instance, it could, over time, it's going to be harder and harder to pick her up. But there's times where I could be irritated about how much I have to pick her up now. And there's going to be a time where I wish I could pick her up again. And these are just all the cycles of all the different feelings that we experience as we're going throughout our life. And what you focus on grows. So like I'm being very attentive to what I focus on. I want to focus on, the baby growing up. I want to focus on my house looking beautiful because I want my house to continue to grow beautifully, And when I think about grow is not just get bigger or get older. Grow can be grow better, right? Like you can have a plant that is growing but barely surviving. Like imagine one apple tree that is like, yes, I'm alive. Yes, I'm producing apples, but there's no leaves. It looks like it's all struggling. It's dry. The fruit is dry. It's producing a fruit, but it's not a very delicious. And then you could have something that's flourishing. So there's growing that leads to flourishing, but there's growing that also leads to, just being, bigger and older. I don't think we focus on the flourishing bit. Sometimes I think we just grow. We grow so fast that we've got growth everywhere, but nothing feels, really flourished. Like nothing. You're still kind of on a go type of thing, versus, being fully present in the moment. But again, you can only have so much current present moment. You have to spend time in your mind. You have to spend time in your feelings. And again, feelings cross over between the physical and the mental all the time. That's and to the degree of which you feel things. I started mapping this out and drawing this out, and it's really, really cool. But I noticed, I feel like this is taking a severe, when it comes to December to remember, right now I am tapping into the manic stage in a sense. I feel like I'm receiving a lot of information, and it's the downloads, the wisdom, some people talk about, and I wanted to understand my gifts more. And it's claircognizance is the idea of clear knowing, something. But there's times where it's you only receive certain things in flashes. It doesn't always come down as an exact knowing. And sometimes a knowing has to build on one another. But I always wondered how do certain people, create their programs, or what it is that they do, or design their business. And for me, it's because for instance, Melanie will say, this came to me in, March, and I've been developing it, and then I just put it out there. And how does she know, how does she have these signature programs, and how does she know what it is that she's, going to be preparing? Because as I branch, again, from insurance exam queen to Melissa May Dillon, with the insurance exam, I had an outline exactly what I'm teaching, exactly what I'm showing people. I'm basically designing my own curriculum now for how to live an amazing and wonderful life. And I'm doing it first, and I do it messy, and I do it in my own way. But I want to be able to show people how to do that for themselves, how to live a beautifully authentic, amazing, awesome life. And I'm creating a whole new, I'm creating the curriculum on how to do that. Everything that I've done, and I feel like Mega Millions, the thing that we just did, that's the journey from making, 0 to 1 million. Because if you can make 1 million, you can make another one. That's easy. Once you've realized it's easy, or like once you've done it, anytime you've done anything one time, it makes it easier to do it again and do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. So once you make $1 million, you can make mega millions. You now are able to do that. So what we did was a 7-week journey, and I feel like this is like 101, Mega Millions 101, where and I know, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm in my Albert Einstein crazy days right now, because I'm just so focused on the baby and home. I don't want to have makeup on my face. I don't want to care about what my hair looks like. And I have these moments, but I'm going live, every day I'm going live. I'm making sure I'm going live and just going based on when I'm able to, based on if I'm taking care of the baby. I like for her to go to bed so that I can fully focus. Otherwise she's running around, or someone else would have to be here with her. So with this, Melissa May Dillon, though, I'm creating everything new. I'm creating everything that I teach based on what I experience in life. So, I get to, pick and choose that. And I'm realizing Mega Millions, the thing that we just finished, was like the 101 class of building an epic, awesome, amazing life and building a business. And we're just going to keep going to like 102 or 201, whatever is next, and continue to show people how to, if I can show you how to get to $1 million, so much easier to get to the next millions, next million, next millions. And I want to, show people what it looks like behind the scenes, growing the business, giving advice, giving, input, so that they can do the same things, for themselves. And as I was receiving the information today, because again, I'm working on, how do I deal with my gifts? How do I learn to tap into my claircognizance? How do I, handle my life as it is? And I received a bunch of insight that I was like, okay, I got to start scribbling. I just started scribbling everything that was coming into my mind. The thoughts were coming in faster than like the, one idea. It was just one amazing idea after another amazing idea, after another amazing idea, after another amazing idea. And I was like mapping it all out and drawing it out. And I see a book, and I see a movie, and I see the lesson, and I see the growth, and I see the beauty, and I see the value in being able to provide all this and share the story and, put it all out there. And it's all coming. And I'm trying to write it down, because how do I disseminate this information? How do I share people this information? How do I get them to come see that I'm teaching this information? There's things behind the scenes to make sure that you are able to, get out. I want to create this curriculum where people can learn how to, go from 0 to $1 million, what they can do in their life to go from 0 to $1 million. And once you make the first $1 million, you've made them all. And that's why it's called Mega Millions, because if I can get one, I can get more. Humans are always like that. Like even the baby, she's like, if they'll give me one cookie, I'm going to go for another cookie and another cookie and then another cookie. Like we know if we can get one, we can get more. And then we know like the next day it's going to be easier to get a cookie because we already got a cookie. We learn that way. So, I landed on my $1 million idea today, and I'm working through my gifts, and I am allowing myself to be what I am and not try to change, fix, or be different. This is my, I'm in my comfy clothes, not having perfectly styled hair, not worrying about makeup mode, and I'm keeping my house clean and organized, and I'm getting amazing ideas coming in, and I'm hanging out with my baby, spending conscious time with her, and it's been an awesome ride. And so I'm going to disseminate the information on the Mega Millions. I am going to, all this stuff that I was talking through about the physical plane, the mental plane, like, when you read books or watch movies, and they're like in different time worlds and stuff, it's like, that's where I'm like receiving this information, and I'm creating a movie like in Dune. Dune is like where that was another idea that I had today, was doing either a blog or a post or a video discussion on how movies have transformed my life. and how different movies that I've watched allow me to heal different things. Like the top 10 most healing movies I've watched, different things like that. Was an idea that I had today. So this is the cycle, and also dealing with my period, as David says, the red devil, disseminating all of this information. I'm pretty sure I need a weeboo, and Robin Williams, that's another movie. And Robin Williams, what is it called? Flubber, where he creates this, stuff that like bounces, this uber rubber. He has this little robot that follows him around basically and keeps his schedule, keeps him on track, keeps all his ideas, even takes pictures of his moments. But she has developed her own personality, and she wants certain things for him. So she changes how she, gives him information, or she put feelings onto it, how she dealt with, Robin Williams. But the way that she organizes things, is there such a thing as a digital assistant where you can just talk to it and it does everything you need? Like, I wanted to send an email to this person. I want to add this to my calendar. I need to add this to the grocery list. Like, I need a weeboo. I said personal assistant, but if I can use a digital assistant, I think that could work. Anyway, I'm going to go enjoy my cocoa. This was one of the wackiest Decembers to remembers, but I guess it's part of the crazy artist magic, like realizing I'm an artist, like I create things. I'm an artist. Also had a thought on that today. Oh, the baby's waking up. All right. I love you all. Gonna have a good night. Bye.